son, where'd you find this?
Stranded and alienated, stripped and humiliated, wallowing in a vision, now cold and isolated. Caught in the lies of a false reality, feeling the sting of inner depravity. As sin begins to pull you in, like a rigid force of gravity, yeah. Spewing out lies while claiming to be true, drowning you in sorrow like a proverbial stool, robbing you of all you ever known, forcing itself onto one's throne. It attacks so ruthlessly, it attacks so relentlessly.
Yo. What's the word? Happy Friday. Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. How's everybody feeling today? It's Friday. You should be good. You should be great. It's the weekend. Shout out to my poets, writers, content creators, all the above, all the in-betweens. Some of you have seen me over the last few days. Some of you haven't. We back. Salutes to the chat. Salutes to the people that's in the building. This is one of the segments that I miss tremendously. Do me a solid. If you've not been a part of this before, this is where the poets get up here and they do their thing. Pour your heart out. Express your word. We here to decompress. We're not thinking about stress. We're not thinking about drama, bills, none of that. For an hour or so, we just chop it up and have a good time, man, sharing some good spoken word. I got Sydney in the building. I'm going to bring her up on the big screen. We're going to chop it up a little bit before we, share some of this good work up here. Do me a solid. If you hear anything in duration of the show that you like, send an emoji. Let the people know you locked in, or you just feeling what you hearing. Sid, what up?
Hello. Just a forewarning, I am super tired today for some reason. So if I keep yawning, it's not because I'm bored. It's just because I'm tired. But it arrived today. So I got to see
bang.
actual copy of my book. I'm smidge sad because they put the pictures on the back side of the poems instead of across from it. But I'm still super grateful that the poem book is finally out. Apparently, I tried to order another copy to give to somebody. They were out of stock on Amazon. So I'm like, oh, am I just that good? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm super excited. So if you are interested in buying my book, they're online now.
That's what's up. That's fire. Congratulations again. We're going to get your information out there. We definitely going to do that. We're going to make sure before this stream is over with, the people know. True Whispers, what's going on, sir? Good evening. What's the word? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. My bad for my lateness. I actually went into the wrong email, so I had to dive out and come to this one. So I apologize for that. But I did my best to make it.
I'm glad you're here, bro. It's good to see the familiar faces in the building. Yeah. It's been a while since we did one of these, man. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to chopping it up with y'all, man. And what's the writing been like for the both of you over the last couple of weeks since we've since convened under these circumstances? Have you still been writing? Have you taken breaks from it? What does that look like? Because it's been a while since we've done one of these, so it's like, all right.
I haven't no, I think I did complete at least one new poem since then. I have another one that I am still working on. It's not done yet, but because I've been focused more on the book, I haven't gotten a chance to do as much writing as I like to do. But I've been adding a lot to my climate change poetry book and revising a lot of those. And then I have one new fresh one that doesn't belong to any book yet. So I've done a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah, you was putting in some work, so I understand that. You running. It's hard to kind of just lock into one thing completely. But we here. What about you, True, man? You been still writing? Like, what's the road look like since we last been up here?
Oh man, the writing journey's been crazy for me because I've been pretty much going to open mics and stuff. So you're constantly having to write. If I'm not writing, then I'm doing the freestyle stuff. And so far I've been doing a lot of collaborations because I just joined a program called Mobile Studios. So the whole goal is to connect artists together and get them to bridge the gap. So you have rappers, singers, poets, spoken word artists all coming together. So there hasn't been a moment where I couldn't really stop writing because, you have to write your piece and make sure you're ready for the collab. So that's been happening. We're right now going into the second phase where we're now getting content put together, getting content ready, doing our photo shoots, group recordings, single recordings, getting ready to get an album to drop close to the end of the year. I think we're trying to push it for summer. If not summer, then winter. So that's pretty much what I've been working on right now. And also still doing like side collabs with whoever wants to collab, whoever wants to lend their voice. I write the poem, you give me your voice. We'll have some fun.
I love that, man. Yeah, I'm busy. That's what's up. That's motivation. For sure. But look, we're gonna get the show started. I'm ready to hear some work. So let's say, Sid. Let's start with you. And we'll work our way over to True. And we'll keep the ball rolling. I'm just here. My ears, my spirit is present. My body is here, but I'm not. I'm like in avatar mode right now. I just want to tune in. So I'm gonna give you the solo. I'm gonna let you do your thing. To the people that's in the building, if you hear anything that resonates with you, drop that emoji in the comments. Let them know we are always watching. We're always interactive with you. Without you, there is no us. So with that being said, Sid, you ready? Gotcha. All right. I'm giving it over to you.
All right. I have to. I'm going to read one of the poems from my book. This one is called VEI8. I am in red, broiling pain, holding back thick, fiery rain. Sour, poisonous heat emanates from the pursed lips on my face, as bubbling, visceral ruptures shatter my internal soft structure. My kettled patience is screaming, compassion flash steaming. I rumble inside with an urge to provoke as sins of oppressors rise up like smoke. My armor is cracking from frequent earthquakes as the boiling inside me seeks an escape. The fault line displacement has split me clear through, with cracks deeply tearing my identity in two. I'm breathing, I'm seething, my anger arises, breaking apart from harmonic tremors inside. I could no longer stay bottled, I had to vent out. My walls crumble down as I start to shout. Burning thought magma burst into space as the calluses give way to blisters of rage. Heart beats with fury as I see what's been done, watching the destruction of land that they won. They cover our country with ashes and lies, leaving us only scorched earth and gray skies. Our Plinian moment has come on so fast, trapping our souls in hot, hollow casts, resembling the person that we used to be, yet lacking the substance that made you and me. Like unfortunate Amero, Myron, Pompeii, the cities we rely on may soon be our fate. Before fiery concrete blesses shoulders and streets, it is now our moment to erupt, to stay free.
Sensational.
A little backstory. How did you get there?
That one was inspired by everything happening in this country right now. I think I wrote it within a couple weeks to months of a certain someone getting elected into office. And it was to express the feelings that I was having about us having selected such a person. I had a lot of anger early on, and I needed to find a way to turn it into something that would also resonate with other people who felt the same way. Because I know there is and was a lot of people that were utterly furious that we had gone down that path. And I think the shock of thinking that the other person was going to win, followed by such a resounding victory. Not that I really trust the results, but anyways, I felt like I had to write something that expressed that level of anger, and also served as an inspiration to overcome using that anger, because I think that's something that I've noticed is a lot of times uprisings fail because they have so much anger, but they don't know what to do with it. But if you can take that anger and actually redirect it in a functional manner, I think you can achieve a lot more than if the country just starts rioting. So I used obviously a volcanic eruption as the theme for that, and it alludes to what happened to multiple cities, but I'm sure you probably would all recognize Pompeii, because that whole city was destroyed for what happened. And so if we want to avoid us having that kind of destruction for a different reason in our country, we'll definitely want to start working together to figure out a solution.
Wake up! Like, we gotta grab people by their shirt collars and shake the hell out of them for them to, like, come on, man, y'all don't see what's going on here. This is real. The threat is real. Stop playing around, people. I love that. I love that work. Appreciate that piece. Appreciate you explaining and breaking it down to this molecule for those who probably would have never understood meaning behind it. Thank you for that. True. You're up, brother. I'm gonna let you get your bars off. share your thoughts, whatever you want to say before you get into it. I'll give you your solo. Chef, that's a fact.
Problem. Yep, you know how it is already, man. A lot of stuff happening in the world, man. Don't know. Sometimes you don't know which way to go with it, right? You know, everybody's running around chaotic right now, thoughts all over the place. And so this is the piece that I came up with, and I think it's a good starting piece. Falling into a darkened state, begging for scraps as they shatter my plate, forcing me to choose between endless pain or death's escape, feeling the cold grip of inner hate, stuck in the paradox of shameless conundrums, too much to handle for a faceless pilgrim, tossed into a cycle of infinite possibilities, only to fall victim to lies and fallacies, hidden within the mist of shapeless reality. For I speak only that which I know, even if it means bringing down house and home, so that I may no longer feel alone. Yet no matter how many times you may ask, I'm just a man who's too afraid to remove their mask.
Two for two. Would I be off if I said there was some even just a smidget of correlation between what you just read and what she just read?
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt like it's divine that we picked. Like, I truly feel like it's divine that we both picked these pieces for this particular moment, because everyone's feeling the state of panic, the state of shock. No one knows what's going on. And what inspired this piece for me particularly was that, you know, my group and I, we were just discussing all the different things. What do we want to talk about and stuff? And I was just thinking about relationships and how broken relationships are, and how everyone's walking around with a mask on. No one knows if they could be real anymore. No one knows if they should really say what's on their mind. And so that's why I ended the piece by saying, you know, I'm just a man that just is too afraid to take off the mask, because I fear like sometimes you just don't know what to say anymore, you know? Like the thing I said, like, yeah, it's like Titanic, you know, everyone's just hitting the rocks and sinking, but you have to stay strong. So it's like, what do you do? And so that's what inspired it. Like, everyone nowadays is so afraid to be real, so afraid to be authentic, that they're just saying whatever comes to mind. And I feel like we're all stuck wearing our masks.
Well said. Well said. I'm gonna go into freestyle mode. I'm gonna go solo. We're gonna keep the ball rolling. The spirit is here. And let me come back real quick. Did you expect me to die? I think you did. The way you stood over an invisible grave that didn't have a name on it, I could tell that you had already made plans, that you had already decorated and created this lowercase letter of me, except you couldn't remember the times where I climbed out of the hole with nothing but broken nails and appendages that were exuding from eye sockets, binding soul and spirit, trying to create a North Star that would never fall from the heavens. How dark it is in my memory, how unorthodox it is in my paradigm, the way that my skin shifts to and fro from the wave to the ocean cannot be calculated. I am not a Nautilus. And even though we do climb into this vortex of uncertainty, I am confident that my blackness will never be the arbitrary for your survival. You will never be able to pronounce me in any form or any language. I do not accept tips from the greedy, and I am not starving for your attention or validation. I am the phoenix, the rising star of the north, the one who blows in the wind every time the words just refuse to fall from my lips, and the ears and eyes of those who perceive to see me in 3D can never understand that I am more than a thief in the night. I am the one that has come to avenge those who have fallen by the ancestors' wayside, the one who has walked under the water and above the sky's limits. I am the limitations. I am the boundaries. I am the foundation. You can never understand or prohibit me from surviving or breaking through. That is just who I've become. I've buried too many of my thoughts to let you teach me how to be a human being. I can't. I refuse. And as much as I want to survive and thrive on social media, I will not become a part of the matrix. You will not plug me into any more eye sockets. I will not become your project. I've seen too many of those abandoned homes broken down into bitter to bones, shaven clavicles that are used to paste and harvest and archive the theories of geniuses that came in the complexion of night. But I digress.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ski.
Had to get one off.
Yes, sir.
Just you know,
Nothing
just
wrong with that.
just for the love of it. So, shout outs to the chat. I see y'all in the building. I didn't get a chance to come over there. I seen the brother just pulled up. Salutes to him, man. I hope you good, bro. I hope your weekend is just as exceptional. I'm glad you could make it. SM, what's going on? Hugs, love to you. Sid, what's up? What's on your mind? Talk to me.
Realistically, both my kids are fighting with each other over a cup. But as usual, so not that crazy. They've been on one for the past 1 second.
Yo, it really,
Boy, kids do it to you, man.
So it's okay. I have other people here. I can be like, go help them. But yeah, the past couple of days they've been in that kid mode of like, even though I have 1,000 toys, we're gonna fight over the same exact toy and not want to share each other, and it's been driving me nuts. But I still love my kids. I just wish that they weren't kids sometimes.
but you know what it is though, and I can go back in time, and I think it was because like my sister or my brother, like they will be having so much fun with that regular toy. Like you don't pay attention to it, but it's like the idea of someone else having fun with it is like, well, if you're having fun with it, then I can have fun with it too. Why? What's so exciting? What's so fun about it? That, you know, and then you get jealous and then you get a little green about it, so you start wanting. Maybe that's just me. I
always wondered that myself, man. I always wanted to know that myself. It's like the toy was there in the corner the whole time by itself. No one cared for it. And the minute another kid touches it and starts playing with it, this kid wants it. Now there's a big fight over a toy that was sitting in the corner for a good 3 hours. I don't understand it. Oh, kids, man.
For Christmas, our grandmother got them different toys. But for my daughter, they got her this like book with a microphone thingy that plays different sounds as you're reading through the book if you press different buttons. And she had the the toy and was playing with it, and we were saying like, she just got it, you can't have it yet, you have to wait. And eventually she like put it down on the table right in front of him, and she was like staring at him as she puts it down on the table and steps back. And as soon as he goes to grab this toy, she like full on football tackles him to the ground. Over. We're like, did you plan this? Like, it really looks like you did this on purpose. But they're 2 years apart, so they're gonna be.
They watch Magic.
They're gonna be that. Sure, you can go watch. If Dad says you can go watch Magic.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
But yeah, they are something else sometimes. So definitely stuff I'll appreciate later, but sometimes it's a bit like, please give me space. I just want to like sleep for 10 minutes.
Water.
I got you.
Water.
All right. Well, look. Let's keep the rotation going. We started with Sid. This time I want to reverse it and go to True and then go to Sid. So I'm gonna give you the solo. Again, shout outs to the people. If y'all feeling what you hearing up here on the screen, let them know in the comment section. True, it's on you.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Now I sit at the pinnacle, even though there's profanity. I try my best to stand above everything, but it's just profanity. See, I try to be nice with it, but sometimes they push me to the deep end. And no matter how many times I jump out, they push me back to the deep end. But what do you expect? You tried to be my enemy and also my friend. And I'm playing both sides of the table. So it's ping pong, just another day in the end. So it's the life of the cycle and the cycle of the left, but we still come back. What's the best? I thought I was blessed, but I was really cursed. So I came back and I broke the curse and put it in reverse. So now I'm blessed. But you see, for you to understand that you're blessed, you first got to see what a curse is, because the curse is the curse word and the word is the curse word. The word that you spit on yourself is the word that you put in yourself. But how many words do you put in yourself before you really talk the truth? How many lies were despised and how many lies were broken until you came back until another word was smoking? See, another word was spoken, and no matter how many times you start choking, words stuck in your throat, so they call it a whisper. That's why it's so true to be me and so true to be hollow. But we still come back and we just say hollow because we want to hollow in our grave, but come back and say we're the slaves to another word, to another slavery, a page in the pen, so the page gets rubbery. See, when you write it and you talk it for true. But you still come back and it's just true blue, because no matter what you do, they do, and we do all together. But we still come back and love one another. And how many times do we have to roll around in cycles before we come back and get another recital? So once again, just another day. Who do you put in the presidency? It's just another legacy. But then what legacy do you want to leave? Do you want to leave behind a true one or a lie? Because tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies is always the word's reply. Because no matter how many times they come through, these words will never die.
Sensational.
SM, I think that was probably one of the most accurate comments. I couldn't really think of it until you said it, but then I started like hearing. It was like, damn, he do kind of sound like Q-Tip a little bit. Q-Tip is a legend, by the way. Just in case y'all don't know who Q-Tip is.
Yo, Q-Tip was a master, man. He waxed eloquently. Man, people slept on Q-Tip. I really think they slept on that, man. Come on. Don't let that breed start shake. Let it go fool you, man. That guy had some stuff.
Yeah. That's a fact. Applause, definitely an applause.
I was gonna say that rhythm was so good. Like it sounded like something that you'd hear a professional do on stage. That was really, really good.
Them in-person drinks, they change everything about your your performance. It don't it? Like I can tell.
100%. 100%, man. Those open mics, man, especially if you go to like poetry slams, those things will chew you up. So that's why I don't go to them. But any regular open mic, when you don't come correct, oh, the crowd lets you know. They will let you know.
My poetry teacher was the one that brought it to my attention that I used to read with a really monotone voice. And he's like, you have to put your emotions into the poem. You can't just read off the page. But also I noticed when I am working on my poems, if you read it on paper, it sounds fine, but then you say it out loud and then you notice the punctuation errors, the issues with rhythm, the issues with rhyme, like all the issues with the word choice. Reading it out loud is so much more important than people realize, even just to yourself or to a whole room of people. So yeah, that was really good.
Well, hey, if y'all have ever thought about doing them, I've only done 3 of them. One day I would love to get back on one of them stages and try it out where I can actually project more, because the first 2 times I did it, I was trying to shake the nerves off. By the 3rd one, I was finding my stage presence. The next time I go, I would like to challenge myself to actually push out some of that extra feeling that's in the word without it just being, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you know what you mean. Yeah.
Because
The hardest part is to bring the.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the hardest part about being on stage is bringing the emotions on the stage and leaving them there. Because sometimes you walk in, you're emotional, so you want to get it off. But if you're too emotional on stage, it's gonna show. And if you're too monotone on stage, it's gonna show. So you have to balance out your emotions. And I feel like women are really good at open word spoken mics. Like they're really amazing with it because all of them have the same rhythm where they're almost singing and they're almost like dancing with the beat. Whereas guys, we're a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more, but so it's good. But yeah, once you can control your emotions on stage, yeah, you got it. You will always be nervous. That's the joy about being on stage. You're nervous, but you work past it.
Respectfully, of course. I want to start walking the stage a little bit, just a couple of little paces back and forth, and kind of get it. We're gonna get there. And then hopefully I can get it recorded and I can upload it so people can see it. Because the first one I did, yeah. Long story short, it definitely was. You can't go up there. You want to have a good time, but you can't go up there and let them see you sweat. They'll support you because you knew, but they harsh up in that crowd too, especially yeah. But look, I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna let Sid go. And then I'm gonna read something, and we'll take it from there. Shout outs again to the people. Just in case y'all don't know, Sid book is here, folks. Yes, the book is here.
Bang, bang, bang.
Go ahead. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get it.
So
that glare is terrible though. It's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, even though right now, at least in my area, it's out of stock. But Barnes and Noble, I was able to get. I just got copies on today, so I think it's going to be at other bookstores too. So if you don't go to those places, it should be at other locations. So yeah.
Chuck Norris would approve.
I hope so.
What?
That would be pretty cool to get his endorsement, even though I don't think he's around anymore.
No. I was just giving him a shout out, man. Rest in peace to Chuck Norris, man. Because people always made jokes about Chuck, man, but it was all in good love, you know. So
If
I'm
any
gonna give
ghosts want to give me endorsements, I'm totally cool with that.
respectfully. Well, I'm gonna give you the solo. I'm gonna let you do your thing, and we're gonna keep this show going.
All right. So this next one I picked because of what we were just talking about. I thought it'd be a very fitting poem. So this is called Matrescence. Grinded down monuments and moments become grit and separation of self. Granules collected, the shadows of snapshot days, vanish into churning, unfettered potential. Melted rivers must belch impatience and pain, spitting violent smoke as the ego smolders. A marriage of future dreams and distant past. Sand and fire have made me glass. No longer mine are words within my head, as this body stared down ceilings from bed. No more is the primitive adherence to self, with proclaimed elements running together. Ferociously, I became that burning pillar. Entire being, incinerated and undefined, now a pliable, amalgamous mass. Sand and fire have made me glass. Pressed and smoothed, an invisible creator threw my shapes into an anonymous figure. Scarlet red to parchment yellow, I mellow. In the cooling and settling, a silhouette. Imperfections freckle glowing skin, I form. Making meaning of curves uncovered, a hollow reliquary reborn as pressures pass. Sand and fire have made me glass. As molten nature dims, red sunrise fades to air, creation demanding convective loss, self rebalancing repercussive reactions, reckless energy returns an offering to God, careful manipulation, perspective and passion, gentle petals stamped, transformed to sunlit stone, crystallized clarity also comes fragility, alas. Sand and fire have made me glass. Standing tall, atoms settle into their transpicious design. Myself, now simply, beautifully refined, shows clear with purpose, a vessel for thee. Though these lattices don't bend, they break. This diamond skin can bear more weight. In my becoming, I did find a newfound strength, my life defined. O Lord, please protect this boy and lass, for sand and fire have made me glass.
Where is it? This one. Hold on a minute. Yes. We are in season. We are in rare form. We are here. We all are here. Shout outs to the writers, the ones who aren't afraid to share their thoughts, their views, their feelings. One of the most rarest forms of expression still left that hasn't been touched, that's still protected to some degree. Matter of fact, I got a question for you. Do you believe that poetry is still raw, still free from oppression? It's still one of the only things that's not endangered?
I wouldn't say that it's not in danger in a sense, because just like all other forms of written word,
Go.
books and stuff are still, being banned, and also with the decline of literacy, the reach of literature is changing. People don't really have an interest in literature in the same way that they used to even like 50 years ago. So I think in some ways it is in danger, but at the same time, I think we're also going through a time period where poetry is having a second revival, where it seems like a lot more people are interested in poetry again, in the same way that they were like through the 50s and like early 1900s. But I think it's more niche now. So yeah, it's kind of a mix of the two, because I think really the biggest danger that I'm seeing is that while there are a lot of poets out there, there's a lot of resources for poets to get your work out there, to speak online, to go to slams and stuff like that. Very few people have the courage to actually write like authentically raw poetry. Because I've noticed that just with the books that I've read from modern poets, as well as the in-person poetry events that I've gone to, maybe it's just because I haven't had a large enough sampling, but it seems like a great majority of poems nowadays are either like love poetry or I had this shitty relationship poetry, and they're writing stuff to complain about either the dating scene or not being able to be in a relationship or something that their parents did. And so I've noticed that there really isn't a lot within other areas. Like there are some political poets, totally blanking on her name, but the one that did the poem for Obama's or Biden's inauguration, something like that, Amanda Gorman. She is very well known for that. But for the most part, I don't hear a lot of poets using their poetry to actually institute change and to encourage it. It's more so like they'll write poetry, but they do more like speech format rather than actual poetry. That's actually one of the things that motivates me to write the way I do, is I want to bring back the old world styles of poetry where they have multiple meanings in the sentence. Like it's not cut and dry meaning. You have to actually like sift through the words to understand what is being talked about, because I think that's lost. Like stuff like Sylvia Plath is not very common nowadays. Most of the poetry you see now is pretty like, when you read it, you can basically understand what they're trying to say. So that was my very long answer to that question.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that, and I can see where you're coming from with it. I don't journey social media enough to give a true answer to that, but I don't see it as often. But that could just be due to me not really curating my timeline that way. So, but I can see your point too.
Oh, just to throw it out there too, the poem that I read was about my kids and how they've changed me since I had them. It's with I did it based off of like how you actually make glass work. So the whole poem is like the process of creating glass, but with the perspective of parenthood in mind instead. And it worked out perfectly, because if you saw her hair, she's the fire, and my son who looks Grecian, he has like sandy colored hair, so he's the sand.
I like. All right. I got something that I wrote on IG. I don't really write nothing down on paper too much. And this was something that I wrote last week or so, maybe. I took a different direction with how I typically would write. So this ain't gonna be too long, but it's food for thought. So I'm gonna go into the solo real quick. This will be our last round going. Thanks again to everybody that's in the building. Let's go to the solo mode real quick. I didn't title this one either. I want you to take a deep breath. Did you feel that? That is the pulse, the indicator of efficacy. Each time you exhale oxygen from your lungs, a calendar day loses a bet on when getting out of bed is no longer an option. Its clamped hands are continually shifting existence to bend in a way that benefits it. And if we aren't careful, air won't be the only jury seeking your conviction. Look at it this way. Why would the future welcome you with open arms when your best life is behind you? Each piece of your heart belongs to the idol that remains silent when you needlessly sought sound. His or her soft words, nothing more than a victim's blanketed thoughts wrapped neatly beneath your chin. And we've all been there before, trust me. We conflate passion for promise and trust in the idea rather than its own acceptance, only to learn that selfishness is not a tool, but merely a dispensation for fear of failure and rejection. Real love comes on wings that suffocate ego and pride. It is a phoenix rising from the soul, standing over ashes of decaying earth, posing as truth. A narrow-minded approach may appear reliant until what finds us on the other side is inevitable indecision. Had to get that one off. I love that one. Those took me to a different realm of thought because I was really trying to have a conversation with the younger me and tell them or tell him what he should have saw when people were trying to instill in him wisdom. That's what I would have said to me when I was 12, 13 years old. But yeah, salutes. I'm getting to a point to where most of my writings is going to probably end up shifting, and it's going to sound more like that because I'm a firm believer in there's always room for growth in your pen. So like there's a stage and you start off one way, doesn't mean you have to stay there. I want to incorporate who I was before, but I want to add more wisdom to it in the process. But anyway, this is the last round we going. So what I want to do is I want to give the last solos to both of these awesome people. I want them to plug whatever they want to plug, say whatever it is that they want to say to the people, get their bars off, and then I'm going to close out. If anybody wants to join the show in the future, shoot me an email or DM, like, share, repost, let the people know what we do over here. We'll make it happen. So what I want to do is give the floor to True. Then after he has done and completed his mission, I will give it to Sydney, and then we'll just wrap it up.
Sounds good. So I just want to first say to everyone who's in the audience watching this, yo, jump on. You know, ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know, jump on, have some fun. You make a mistake, doesn't matter. It's part of the process of growing, right? So come out, have some fun. And with that being said, I'm going to jump into this last piece. It's funny how truth has been twisted into lies. We call it AI, conquering our vision with the click of our permission, the altering of intelligence, while adding insanity to the chaos, all in hopes of a cheesy payoff, forcing an age of isolation with a slight alteration, while falling through the cracks via controlled communication, acting all innocent at someone else's benefit, yet leading you to a place of absolute incompetence, orchestrated by an artificial insurgence. Just another bang for your buck until you get stuck. Then it's off with their heads and on to the next chump. Allocated and indecent for no other reason but to trap your mind in a frigid season. Pushed beyond what you already know. Enticed by the throne, realizing that it has this life, you're still not home.
All right.
Sensational.
You the man. That's what's up, brother. Thank you for your time, for your words, for your feedback, for your wisdom. Your presence is everything.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, always, Mikasa. It's Sukasa. Levy, what up? Salute, sir. Salute. Tell Chef to stop acting Hollywood. Chef, you are required. I'm gonna do like what they did with Snoop and Tupac, and I'm gonna create a hologram, and I'm gonna have you up here performing. Nah, see, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the solo. I'm gonna let you do your thing, man, and we're gonna get up out of here. Hold on a minute. Boom.
So this one is from my climate change book that I'm working on, which in theory will be ready to publish by the end of the year. This one is one of my newest additions to this poem. I think I finished it either last week or 2 weeks ago. So this is called The Age of Decline. She rocks in her spot next to the hearth, resting her weary limbs in a bath of salt. She has been around, making circles around her shadowy home, existing in rhythm, not rhyme. Arthritic bones grind, turning age into dust, creaking with the residues of rebirth. Wrinkles across her freckled, fleshy film tell tales of tragedy and trepidation, while the scars speak to what she's survived. Her rooms are adorned with collections of life. Shelf to shelf are fossils, stones, and shells, signs of adventures she had in her youth. She wears organic patchwork and pigment as a soft record of all that she's loved. Her thinning, wispy whites fall away, hidden under a toasty cap of maroon. She is dressed in a nightgown of azure, and she clutches her quilt to her chest to hold in the heat to her crumbling flesh. She's been infected by miasma and water. Now fever engulfs all her systems, inducing storms of sweats and chills. Her body bears the brunt of contagion, breaking out with dry patches and lesions. Feasting on her organic, feeble frame, the virus ransacks and plunders her plexus, plaguing, poisoning, purging, putrefying, eroding away her softened elder cells, leaching the strength from her bones. She groans with deliried suffering as tissues tremble with wet and ague. The humid fires raging across her skin, meant to extirpate the marauders within, instead become a battle she herself cannot win. 105 does little to kill the infection as it disrupts and weakens her functions. The organic fever meant to keep her alive instead becomes the hindrance, the sentence, trapping her into a molten body of stone. She once tried to cry out for someone to help, but no one had heard her or cared she was there. Instead, she rocks in her spot next to the hearth, resting her weary limbs in a hot bath of salt. And in the spot, she will die all alone.
I gotta get the thunder sound on here real soon. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Hold on, let me do this. I'm gonna give it this one right here. I like it. Yeah. I felt like I was in a apocalyptic setting where the time was counting down to the virus getting ready to spread throughout the city. I know I'm off, but I like the delivery of that. It had me locked in, you know. But of course, all of you did an amazing job this evening, as per usual. This is no judgment zone. We just be chilling up here, man, vibing. And I'm glad I got to make these type of memories with these specific people. Couldn't have been nobody else. But if you were a part of it, that meant that you were supposed to be here, you know. So whether or not you're here today or next week or week after, you're always going to be welcome up here, especially when it comes to these right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to everybody again. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope your weekend is phenomenal. If you are available tomorrow, tap in with your boy. I got a stream tomorrow evening. Pull up, tap in. You know the vibe. The workflow is always there. I'm always in the lab. I told you, hologram. They got apps for it. You do know that, right?
Right? This boy be ducking that smoke. Come on out, fam. Come on out, fam.
But nah, on a serious note, man, I'm humble. I'm grateful for y'all, man. Real talk. These do help me just as much as it. Yeah, you might not think it do, but it do. You know, so.
Hey, we're grateful you're having this platform for us.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for hosting it, man. It gives us a spot to be free, you know, and let loose.
I don't know tech at all, so it's great that someone else knows how to do it and is willing to open the doors to other people.
It's
100%.
fun. It's fun. It's just another hangout spot for me. But we about to get up out of here. Y'all know the energy. Do me a solid before y'all go.
Push the goddamn button.
Check out the book. Check out the book.
Yeah, pasta.
And we're gonna keep running it up. See y'all tomorrow. Y'all be easy.
Bye.
Bye.
Deuces, we out.
This is Sand. Everest.
What up, Sand? What up?
You wanna say hi?
Bye.
Bye, Sand.
Say
Peace.
press the button. Can you say press the button?
Press the button.
Press the button.
Stranded and alienated, stripped and humiliated, wallowing in a vision now cold and isolated, caught in the lies of a false reality, feeling the sting of inner depravity, as sin begins to pull you in like a rigid force of gravity, yeah. Spewing out lies while claiming to be true, drowning you in sorrow like a proverbial stool, robbing you of all you ever known, forcing itself onto one's throne. It attacks so ruthlessly, it attacks so relentlessly.